Good morning, everyone. It's October 8th, 2019. I'm Eric. So, the 2019 growing season for our farmlands had been riddled with numerous problems. Among them are drought and flooding. And it seems that the winter or fall is going to offer more problems. So let's get into it. This has direct impact on all of us. Frost apocalypse set to sweep across the U.S. could mark end of growing season. And this is from Zero Hedge and by Tyler Durden. If I can see my damn cursor here. Okay. We're tracking frost and freeze potential U.S. temperature weather maps this weekend that indicate a strong possibility frost apocalypse is heading for the Pacific, Rocky Mountains, and Midwest regions over the next 10 days. This could mean the end of the growing season for many agricultural producing states. As shown in the EC operational maps below, a 32-degree Fahrenheit contour line in the 5 to 10 day forecast indicate U.S. frost risk could shift from the northwest to much of the north central states, which would officially mark the end of the growing season in those areas if confirmed by mid-month. Now, these crops, many of them were planted too late due to flooding. Many of these crops failed due to drought. And those who planted in the areas after the flooding subsided had excessively wet soil, which is not good for your plants. You add this to this winter weather, early winter weather, by the way, and the notion our grain reserves have dwindled to nearly nothing, well, we can see problems ahead in the very near future. And as you can see, this is the frost maps, and the frost or cold weather is projected to go to these areas. We don't need to look at all these maps. Let's get down here. Now, I can't pronounce this meteorologist's name. We'll just call him Andre. Yeah. He's a meteorologist for NOAA, National Weather Service. And he provides further insight into the frost situation in the U.S. Frost and freeze watches warnings hoisted for portions of the north central and northeast U.S. weather outlook turns colder across the northern and central U.S., raising risks for frost/freeze and thus upside potential for prices. Now, if you've seen any number of my videos, I am always urging people to go and buy as much rice and other dried goods as possible. Grits, pasta, dried peas and beans, this sort of thing. While you can, while the prices are still fairly decent, right? So, and there's a reason for this. It's because I've been watching the crop losses, and among other things, and I understand that there will end up being shortages of some of these goods, and as a result, the prices will indeed go higher. On the weather front, frost and freeze watches warnings are in effect for much of North Dakota, eastern South Dakota, northeastern Nebraska, western Minnesota, northwestern Iowa, a large portion of upstate New York and Vermont, extreme western Massachusetts, and extreme northern Pennsylvania. The frost and freeze warnings are in effect tonight through Friday morning. The freeze watch is in effect for late Friday night through early Saturday morning. And that's this coming Friday and Saturday, by the way. The freeze and frost warnings over northern Dakota and Minnesota cover a good portion of spring wheat. However, with much of the crop harvested, the impact should be minimum on that, on what they call it, wheat, right? The northwestern portions of the corn and soybean belt will be impacted by the frost and freeze Thursday night, Friday morning. The freeze watch covers a very small portion of corn and soybeans that will not really be able to make any difference. So, meaning the amount of soybeans and corn that's going to be harvested isn't going to make much of a difference in the pricing. And when these food shortages come, by the way, more and more stores are restocking their shelves as quickly as they used to. For example, here where I live, there's a Dollar General, a little over a block away, and it has been short on a lot of goods as of late. Well, actually, since I've lived here in this little town. And they went weeks and weeks and weeks without getting any of these goods in. So if they're already having problems now getting these goods in, then just think of how much more of a problem they're going to have when there is no grains, among other things, available to us. And this is where people, when there's a food shortage, this is where people will begin to freak out. And rightfully so. There are numerous things you could do now to be proactive when it comes to your food. Again, a 10-pound bag of rice costs just a couple of dollars. Dried peas, a couple of dollars. Beans, less than that. Pasta, you can get big bags of pasta for a couple of dollars. You should be stockpiling as much of this food as you can now, simply because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, and a lot of people are not going to be able to afford the new prices in this food. Even those who get state handouts will be short because of the prices. This is a warning to you. You should be paying attention. You should be paying attention across the board to all of the events that are unfolding right before your eyes, so that you have one up on all of those sheeple who've not been paying attention. So anyway, I thought I would share this with you, and I hope everyone has a great day. Till next time, kill the state with free.